This is Vincent Price, bringing you Flipped by Brent Beebe. It's a standard contract. No, really, it is. But let's make you feel better and go over it together. Wouldn't want you feeling you're missing out on something that's rightfully yours, would we? Well, first off, we've got the buyer and the seller. That's me and you, and I know you and you know me. Well, to be honest, you don't know me, and I really don't know you, but this is a business deal and not a wedding, am I right? Partners in a deal where all we need to know is what we're getting and what we're giving up. That's about the long and short of it, am I right? But let's keep right on going through these stack of pages so we can both feel it's all fair and square. None of this, you should have read the fine print, am I right? No, of course, that doesn't mean we don't do fine print. It's just that we ought to consider it, don't you think? Of course, I suppose you might say this isn't your usual contract in terms of real estate. I'm not buying your home, I'm just renting it. And for a rental, there's a bit more than your usual paperwork. But that's why we're spending time going over this. It's not your usual transaction. You might even consider us partners in crime. Oh, not literally, of course. Let's continue on, shall we? Okay. I'd say this first section is pretty simple. I'm paying you for use of the house, and in exchange, I'll assist you in settling any current difficulties with the bank. And I'm glad to do it as well. They just don't believe in giving people a second chance. Talk about the fine print. Look, let's put all our cards on the table, face up, eh, hombre? Oh, that's just a little Western movie speak I seem to have adapted into my vocabulary of late. It's my favorite genre of film, you know. I suppose seeing it slip into my daily conversations now and again is fairly understandable. Oh, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm getting off topic. Trust me, I'm not trying to confuse you or anything like that. I don't believe in sleights of hand when it comes to business. Anyhow, in regards to putting our proverbial cards on the proverbial table, I suppose you want to know what exactly it is that I'll be doing with your home during said rental period. I'm sure your mind is running the gamut from drugs to satanic rituals, am I right? I understand your curiosity in this matter, but you'll just have to trust that your home will be returned to you, stain-free. And as to any future inquiries from Johnny Law, well, you're in the clear. Then there's this section, the one that got you thinking about what I said previous involving the law and all. This part is the meat of the deal, you might say. Think of it as a third-party possession clause. Remember what I said about us being partners? It's actually a bit more complicated. There's actually a third partner. Who is he? Well, think of him as a silent partner. He's the one supplying the funds. Together with me performing the legwork and you with the location, we're going to come up with something I think will impress a lot of people. Oh, yes, I'm sure you'd like more information about our third partner, but what's really important, especially for you, is that his pockets are quite deep. And between you and me, he knows how to squeeze a dollar from a dime. Not literally, of course. Now, unfortunately, he rather enjoys his privacy, so I can't go much further than to say he's been doing this for a while, so there's no need to worry. I'll tell you what, I'll let him know you asked about him, and perhaps he'll get in contact with you. That's about the best I can do. Shall we move on? Now, I'm noticing a bit of hesitancy on your part. Please, I'm sure this is all starting to sound a bit odd, like something out of a spy novel or something. But that's why we're doing this. Going over the contract word for word. You're getting what you want, and we're getting what we want. Isn't that what it's all about? You have my word. There is nothing for you to lose in this deal. But at this stage, I can't promise to say the same should you indeed decide to back out. Oh, my, that sounded rather ominous, didn't it? I was really referring to your financial situation and how it ties into your personal life. I know money can put a strain on relationships, especially when one person is hiding said problems from the other. Oh, just an observation, my friend. I've been doing this a long time, and I know people. There isn't much they do anymore that surprises me. And I think that leads us to our final issue, the reason for our usage of your property. First, let me say that it will have no impact on your future property value whatsoever. Directly, that is. Yes, that does sound confusing now that I hear myself say it. Let me try again. There are certain objects that we need a place in which to store. These objects are of extreme value to us. Hence, they must be placed within specific locations like your home. For the time period we've contracted with you, they must remain undisturbed. This is what I mean by directly being of no impact upon your future property values. They are neither toxic, dangerous, or in any way destructive to you or your family. Oh, yes, I suppose I should have been clearer on that point. They will be expected to remain in occupancy inside your home during the period of storage. Well, there. That's the long and short of it. Oh, yes, I'm quite sorry for that. I can understand how the full explanation of the contract might lead you to further questions in regards to the contents of this object. But, to be frank, I am not at liberty to discuss this matter any further. That is, of course, due to strict orders by our mutual partner. You know, the one with the deep pockets. Just remember, your reward for the temporary storage of this object will be full title upon your house, regardless as to the amount you now owe. You will be free and clear, and your family need never know of your current difficulties. And so, are you willing to put aside all questions in regards to said object in exchange for full ownership of your home? What do you say? Shall we seal the deal? Excellent. Now that everything's signed and sealed, all we have remaining is the delivery of the object. Oh, no, it's not very big. You'll hardly notice it. Really, wouldn't take up much room at all. But since you bring it up, I suppose I should offer you these few words of advice. Said object must remain untouched by any and all persons for the time of storage. If you should come across it, a very real possibility, you must repress any desire to touch it or forbid it, attempt to open it. In fact, I'm reminded of a quotation from one of my favorite westerns. The horse would buck a man's spurs clean off before he could whistle a word of hey-ho to his lord and maker. Oh, you haven't seen that one? Well, maybe one day we can watch it together. It's one hell of an oater, I must say.